Attention passionate Baltimore Ravens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Baltimore Ravens' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Baltimore Ravens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Baltimore RAVENS fans. Let's get to the news, all right. Ravens fans, buckle up because this is a story that could shake up the entire AFC North and potentially set Baltimore on a new trajectory towards Super Bowl glory. Rumors are swirling around a possible blockbuster trade involving Antoine Winfield Jr., the versatile safety from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it's got everyone talking. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. Is this really happening? Can the Ravens pull this off? Well, let's break down everything we know so far, dive into why this could be a game changer, and what it means for the Ravens' defense moving forward. First, let's talk about the context. The Buccaneers, sitting at 4-4, are eyeing some major roster adjustments. Their secondary has been giving up around 26 points per game, which is not exactly the kind of number you want when you're trying to contend. Sources indicate that Tampa Bay is looking to clear cap space, about $18 million, to infuse the offensive line with some reinforcements, and one name that's reportedly on the block is Antoine Winfield Jr. Now, why would Tampa Bay trade away such a talented player? Well, the Bucs are in a tricky spot financially, with about $10 million in cap space, and the team's management is reportedly prioritizing cap relief to focus on key areas, especially on the defensive front, where they're giving up roughly 4 yards per carry on the run. The plan, as per insiders, is to ship Winfield out in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft. That's a significant return, considering Winfield's talent and versatility. And here's where it gets interesting for us, because the Ravens, who are currently 5-3, really could use a player like him. Our secondary has been improving recently, thanks to the addition of rookies and some veteran leadership. But there's still a vulnerability, especially in the back end, where turnovers have been a bit inconsistent, averaging about 2.9 picks per season. Now, let's understand who Antoine Winfield Jr. really is. He's a 27-year-old safety out of Minnesota, who's proven to be a Pro Bowl caliber player multiple times. Over his career, he's amassed around 450 tackles and 15 interceptions, and his PFF grade averages around 82.7, which is solid for a safety in today's NFL. What makes him stand out is his incredible versatility. He's not just a deep safety, but can play in the box, cover tight ends, and support the run game with high efficiency. His coverage grade is a strong 84.2, and his run support is even better at 88.1, making him one of those safeties who can do it all. In the 2025 season, Winfield posted 72 tackles, 3 interceptions, and defended 7 passes. His EPA per target was around 39, meaning he's quite effective at limiting big plays. He's also adept at blitzing, with an 11% blitz rate, and allows just about 3 yards YAC per reception, ranking him among the top safeties in the league for run support. PFF gave him an 85.4 grade this past season, which underscores his elite ball-hawking skills and overall impact. Even in 2024, he was outstanding with 128 tackles and 3 picks, despite dealing with a shoulder injury in Week 5. But he bounced back strongly, recording 10 tackles and an interception against the Chiefs in Week 9. His ability to force turnovers and make plays in clutch moments makes him a perfect fit for the Ravens' defensive philosophy. So why is Tampa Bay willing to part ways with him? Well, besides the cap reasons, they see his value diminishing slightly due to his age and the team's financial constraints. The Buccaneers are looking to avoid paying him a $22 million cap hit in the future, and by trading him now, they can save around $14 million, which they plan to reinvest on other areas like Vita V, a key interior lineman. They also want to acquire draft capital, especially after losing some key pieces on defense and needing to bolster their front seven. For the Ravens, bringing in a player like Winfield Jr. would be a massive boost. Imagine a secondary that already features Kyle Hamilton, who's been emerging as a playmaking safety, now complemented by Winfield's ball skills and versatility. His addition could see the Ravens' defense elevate to a new level, especially when it comes to creating turnovers, which has been a bit of an Achilles heel this season. With Winfield on the field, we could see an increase in interceptions, forced fumbles, and overall defensive dominance. He's the kind of player who can make an immediate impact, especially in critical situations. Think about third downs, red zone defense, and late-game scenarios where his playmaking ability can turn the tide. By adding Winfield, the Ravens could see their defense become more aggressive and unpredictable. His ability to cover multiple positions, whether as a single high safety, close to the line of scrimmage, or in nickel packages, gives defensive coordinator Mike Macdonald a lot more flexibility. Plus, his experience and leadership would be invaluable for a secondary that's still developing its cohesion this season. Given that the Ravens' defensive scheme relies heavily on creating turnovers and disrupting the passing game, Winfield's skill set aligns perfectly. Now, let's talk about the potential impact on the team's overall performance. Right now, our secondary has been solid but vulnerable, allowing around 24 points per game. That's not enough to win consistently against playoff-caliber teams. The addition of Winfield could push that number down, potentially to around 20 points allowed per game, which would give the offense even more chances to capitalize. Moreover, his presence could boost the team's turnover rate significantly, projected to increase by about 14%, from 1.5 to roughly 1.7 turnovers per game, an enormous improvement considering how crucial takeaways are in tight playoff battles. Looking ahead, the odds for the Ravens winning the Super Bowl could see a noticeable shift. Currently, their championship odds are around +5-0, which, while not the highest, could improve to around +3-200 with Winfield's addition. That's a substantial increase in their chances to contend, especially when you consider how strong their offense has been under Lamar Jackson and the offensive line, and how this revamped secondary could complement that. The AFC is a tough conference, with teams like the Bengals and Steelers always in the mix, but adding a player of Winfield's caliber could be the final piece to turn the Ravens into a true contender. The Bengals, with their explosive passing game led by Joe Burrow and receivers like Jamar Chase, are always a threat, but with Winfield, the Ravens could better contain those aerial attacks. His ability to cover speedsters like Chase, or even help neutralize big-play receivers like George Pickens of the Steelers, who averages over 13 yards per reception, would be invaluable. Baltimore's defense with Winfield could become more aggressive, forcing more turnovers and shifting the momentum in crucial moments. This isn't just about patching a hole. It's about transforming a good defense into a great one, giving Lamar Jackson even more support to lead the offense deep into the playoffs. Of course, there are skeptics. Some analysts, like those from ESPN's Rachel Nichols and others, point out that Tampa Bay might be capping their rebuild or trying to shed salary, but they're also wary of giving up such a talented player to a division rival. The Ravens, on the other hand, see this as a golden opportunity. They're already sitting at 5-3, and with a few more strategic moves, like adding Winfield, they could be favored to not just make the playoffs, but make a real run at the Super Bowl. The AFC North, known for its physicality and tough defenses, could see a new level of competition with this kind of talent in Baltimore. And let's not forget, this kind of move also signals a broader shift in how the Ravens are building their roster. They've been patient, drafting well, and developing their young players, but a trade like this shows they're willing to make bold moves when the opportunity arises. This is the kind of move that could define the season and perhaps even the franchise's future. The Ravens have always been about smart, strategic football, and acquiring Winfield Jr. would be a textbook example of that philosophy, adding a proven playmaker who can change the course of a game with a single play. In conclusion, Ravens fans, this potential trade for Antoine Winfield Jr. isn't just a rumor, it's a statement. It shows that Baltimore is serious about competing at the highest level and ready to make a splash to get over the hump. With his ball-hawking skills, versatility, and leadership, Winfield could be the missing piece that elevates our defense, pushes us into the top tier of the NFL, and maybe even helps us bring home another Lombardi trophy. The AFC North is about to get even more interesting, and Baltimore might just be the team to watch in the coming weeks. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Baltimore Ravens news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Baltimore Ravens fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you believe Winfield Jr. would be the perfect fit for our defense? How do you see his impact shaping our playoff chances and Super Bowl aspirations? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Ravens organization. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates and analysis, so stay tuned for all the latest Baltimore Ravens news. We're in this together, and this season could be one for the history books. Let's go Ravens!